You are listening to the audiobook Veilshatter, Legends of Elyndar, now available on Amazon, Audible, and wherever books are sold, featuring our three unforgettable heroes. An epic adventure begins.
Dialogue of Souls. When the storm of memory receded, only a hush remained, thick with unshed tears and things unspoken. Shadows crawled along the trembling walls of the rift and seemed to breathe with her, a pulse echoing Liora's own. But in the cold, uneven dark, a presence emerged that was neither a threat nor a promise, only a memory brought near, persistent as a heartbeat. Talon's echo took shape where the last of the false dawn flickered, a ghostly outline limned in the blue-gold glow that seeped through hairline fractures in the world. Even blurred by death and rift, his gaze was intent as obsidian, full of the gentle defiance that had once made her believe they could win by cleverness alone. "You shouldn't be here," she thought. Accusation and longing braided together. He didn't speak with shaping lips. Didn't need to. His words curled through her thoughts, edged with remorse and rough-edged humor. "You always did underestimate me. Thought I'd walk out quietly just because my part was done?" Exhaustion gripped her. Soul weavings drained so acute that her hands barely answered her will. Her tongue felt thick, unreliable. But when she looked at him, at the fragment that survived within the memory key's shattering pulse, her own sorrow steadied, as if his presence drew the ache into pattern and sense. Around them, the Veilborn loomed. Its fractured face shifted, searching for another means to devour what made her whole. Its hundreds of voices fell silent now, uncertain in the face of something it had not foreseen. A dialogue not of conquest, but kinship. They stood in a wasteland woven from refuse memories, broken scenes replaying, stuttering out of order. The stone underfoot flexed like living skin, offering up flashes of places and people Liora had cherished until the world turned. Mirune's frost-silvered forests, the silent spires of Kavathis under salt wind, Talon laughing in the market district as he conned a mistborn trader from his last crystal. Every heartbeat here was the cost of magic, every remembered image, a wound she agreed to carry. "You're cracked through," Talon said, his shade stepping closer. "Pierstaz, if you try to take it all, there won't be enough left to bind you together. The Veilborn eats that. It wears faces, but its true hunger is only for what we won't mourn. Don't let it have you for nothing." A tremor rippled through her, sharp as breaking bone. The memory key's runes seared deeper, sending threads of fire crawling up her arm to her throat, splintering thought and sense. Around her, Varen's breath came shallow, the after-echo of his magic spent, hanging limp at his fingertips. Ariel pressed her palms to her ears, as if even the silence screamed. Liora struggled to answer, her mind twisting under pressure, as if she were being pressed between layers of hardened glass. "I don't. Talon, if I change this, if I turn loss into hope, will you be lost too?" He smiled, tender, tired, unafraid. "I was always meant to be a cost, Liora. You taught me that meaning and pain live together, that the only fair bargains are the ones you make with your eyes open. If you turn away, it's not me you lose. It's the reason we fought at all." The Veilborn recoiled as if stung, its shape elongated, voices fluttering. "It can be undone. It can be unwound. Come, child, come, child, come." Asterisk. It lunged, every regret weaponized. But Liora, no longer alone in her terror, found center in the sharpness of Talon's memory. She pressed bloody fingers to the key at her heart, felt the centuries-old runes embedded in her skin pulse with ancient hunger, and chose not annihilation, but transformation. She lifted her chin, letting her voice, raw as scraped stone, ring out. "You call yourself mercy, but you fear pain so much you would erase all of us for a dull peace. You can have neither my sorrow nor my longing. Let me show you what they become when you bear them through to the other side." As she spoke, the soul-weaving responded, old, bone-deep, thrumming in counterpoint to the rift's chaos. She sang, not with the ease of a bard, but with the strained clarity of the desperate, letting every grief, every regret become not a weight, but a note. The song was not beauty. It was raw, discordant, stitched from farewells and laughter, and the silent scream she'd carried since Talon's death. Veyron and Ariel heard it too. Ariel wept openly now, silent tracks streaking her cheeks, her hands shaking as she poured the last of her moon water over the scarred ground. Veyron mustered what little magic he had left, the ring on his finger burning silver, casting flickers of stormlight that joined the chorus. Their hope threaded into her melody, binding all three into a joint act of resistance. The rift convulsed. Light and shadow shredded the labyrinth of memory, but Liora's song refused to dissolve. Instead, it bound the fragments, loss, longing, hope, into a single aching strand that wrapped the Veilborn like wire. Its cries fractured into 1,000 minor chords, each one an echo of a life it had consumed and never understood. "Don't let him blunt you. Keep the edges. Even if you bleed," Talon's echo insisted. She did. She bled, and the blood was light, and the light a wound she offered to the world. The Veilborn wavered, stripping away its beauty, revealing a marrow of emptiness at its core. "Would you choose agony over peace? Would you drag the world through grief everlasting?" "Grief is only endless when you refuse to let it change you," Liora answered. "I choose to let it teach. I choose the bruised memory, the risk of joy. That is what binds us, what makes us strong, not hollow." The rift began to close, not slamming shut in vengeance, but receding, layer by aching layer, as if soothed by the shape of her song. With every breath, the oppressive charge lightened, the air shifting from poison to clarity. The memory key in her palm dimmed, relinquishing its toll. Her vision blurred at the edges. Exhaustion dragged at her bones, but she clung to herself, raw and still whole. Talon's echo stepped back into the thinning twilight. His smile lingered, gentle and full of pride. "You know how to end the story right, Liora. Not with forgetting, with life made honest even by loss." She reached for him, and for a moment their hands almost touched, phantom against flesh, and in that touch was every goodbye granted grace. "I'll carry you," she whispered, "not as a wound, but as my strength." The last chord of her song rang through the rift. As the world righted itself, Veyron and Ariel gathered close, their faces hollowed, eyes dark with fatigue, yet burning with the first astonishment of survival. Light from the not-quite dawn pooled on their skin, painting every bruise, every tear track, with gold. The Veilborn diminished, unmade by what it could not consume. Its final murmur was less threat than plea. "I was made from hopeless longing," it lamented, "and you release me into shape I cannot endure. You remake the wound." The ground solidified beneath them. The walls of the rift thickened, heavy with the taste of old earth and water and the memory of blood. Liora pulled her companions into a trembling embrace, feeling, for one brief instant, the heartbeat of the world synchronized with her own. "Let the song linger," she said, soft, not to be heard by any but the dead. "Let every scar mark a way forward." As dawn broke, jagged and uncertain, the labyrinth of memory unraveled behind them. The path out was not gentle. Each step cost more than the last. Pain burning cold in her joints, her sight threatening to dim, the cost of magic never fully paid. But when they at last stumbled into morning, Liora felt the change singing through her veins. The sun's gold light swept the rift's rim, glinting off scattered shards of the old world. Somewhere in the hush, a Varillian songbird trilled, its wings a ghost of hope, unbroken by night's black vigilance. And where Talin's echo faded, she sensed, not absence, but a promise, that what was lost would not be devoured, but transformed. Pain folded into memory, memory into compassion, compassion into the quiet bravery of those who choose to love again. Hope endured beneath the ache, fragile but bright. The choice would haunt her, would echo in the bones of the world for ages to come. She did not banish darkness. She made of it a threshold, and stepped through, bearing her grief like a lantern whose flame is both wound and gift, sorrow and dawning. With each breath, the song lingered, unbroken, unfinished, ready to shape the dawn that waited.